Hey, what's up, everybody? It's been a while since I've posted on YouTube, but I have a video here showing off some of my most interesting purchases from March, and I'm hopefully going to be posting these types of videos on a monthly basis going forward. So without further ado, here is a denarius of Augustus, the first Roman emperor. This is a one of his most common designs. It features Gaius and Lucius Caesar on the verse, who were his grandsons and his heirs to the throne. They both died at a young age, in their 23 and 18 respectively. And because of their deaths, Augustus was forced to appoint his stepson Tiberius as heir instead. And some say that his wife, Augustus's wife Livia, had a role in the deaths of Gaius and Lucius to ensure that Tiberius would take the throne. Here's a cool Antoninianus or double denarius of Aurelian. And you can actually see some silvering remaining on this coin. By the time that this coin was struck, in about 270 AD, the Antoninianus was no longer a silver coin, it was a bronze coin with a thin coating of silver. So the silvering would typically be worn off during circulation. This coin looks like it did not see a ton of circulation, so you can actually see some of that silver coating still remaining. Pretty nifty coin. You can see also that the portraits at this time, they're less realistic and they're more stylized, and that would continue into the later parts of the 3rd century and 4th century. And here is a large silver coin. This is a cystophorus from Emperor Claudius. It features Claudius and his wife, Empress Agrippina, who is also most likely his murderer. Agrippina was sister to Emperor Caligula and Claudius's niece. He married her after a divorce, and she was a very ambitious and ruthless woman. She wielded her power to destroy her enemies and put her son in line for the throne. And eventually she poisoned Claudius, most likely, with mushrooms, delivering the empire to her son, Emperor Nero. Nero would have her executed 5 years later, so not a great mother-son relationship between the two of them. Here is going over to the Greek realm, this is a Macedonian silver drachma of Alexander the Great. This is a lifetime issue. So these coins were produced not only during Alexander the Great's lifetime, but also for many years, even centuries after his death, but with the same design. So the way to tell it's a lifetime is based on the symbols on the reverse side. You can see a bow to the left of Zeus here. And there are various guides. The one I like to use is called Pella, that will allow you to date the coins based on those symbols. Also, Zeus's legs are not crossed, which is generally a good sign that it's a lifetime issue, though not always a definitive sign. Going back to the Romans, here is a denarius of Emperor Macrinus, who ruled for about a year, 217 to 218 AD. He was a conspirator in the assassination of his predecessor, Caracalla. Caracalla's aunt, Julia Mesa, organized a rebellion to have her grandson, Elagabalus, kind of a mouthful, placed on the throne. And the forces of Elagabalus defeated Macrinus in battle, and he was shortly after caught and executed. The reverse side here is a pretty cool one. It shows Jupiter with his thunderbolt. Sorry for my dog barking. We have a guest at the door. And the emperor is actually to the left of Jupiter. You can see the size of Jupiter there. And here we have a denarius of Macrinus' son, Diadumenian, also a mouthful. He was a young boy. He only lived to about 8 or 9 years old. And when his father was defeated in battle by the army of Elagabalus, while fleeing the battle, Macrinus put his son in the keeping of a small group of loyal servants with instructions to deliver him to the Parthian Empire, where he could be protected. Unfortunately, he was captured en route and executed. and his head was sent to Elagabalus as a trophy. So not a great way for a 9-year-old to go out, unfortunately. Going back to the Roman Republic, this is a denarius featuring a really cool design. This is one of my favorite designs on Roman Republic coins. It shows a Roman soldier on horseback wielding the severed head of a barbarian, which you can see on the right there. And it's a Gallic warrior specifically, and you can tell that by the long hair on the severed head. These don't always have the most artistically skilled depictions, but you can still kind of tell what it is. So it's a cool little depiction of Roman warfare on a coin. And then on the obverse side, you have the standard depiction of Roma, the goddess and personification of the city of Rome. Here's a denarius of Emperor Hadrian. This is a cool design. The legend reads Restitutori Hispaniae, so restorer of Spain. And Hispania was a province in the Roman Empire. And here Hadrian is taking credit for restoring peace and prosperity to it. Hispania is holding an olive branch, and a rabbit is between them. You can kind of see the two big ears of the rabbit. Hadrian spent much of his imperial reign touring the provinces, dedicating and spending on various big infrastructure projects and just trying to improve the lives of the provincial citizens. So overall, a very effective and popular emperor. Moving back to the Republic, we have a denarius of Sulla, Lucius Cornelius Sulla. He was a Roman general and statesman. He was the first to march on Rome with an army in an attempt to defeat his enemies in a civil war. He defeated his rival Gaius Marius and declared himself dictator in 82 BC, which is when this coin was produced. He was a very vicious man, and he used what's called prescriptions to eliminate enemies, so basically declaring them enemies of the state and having them executed, their estate seized. He voluntarily retired after 3 years of dictatorship, but he set this precedent for military rule and for marching on the city of Rome that ultimately Julius Caesar would emulate. Here's a quinarius, or a half denarius, from ancient Celtic Gaul. This is from the Sequani tribe. They lived in eastern France and traded with the Roman Republic. So this coin actually features a depiction of Roma, or a goddess modeled upon her, on the obverse side there, and then a cool Celticized horse on the reverse side. The Sequani tribe, they fought against Julius Caesar in the Gallic Wars, and they ultimately were defeated along with Vercingetorix. Their territory later absorbed into the empire. These coins are relatively affordable. It's a small coin, but it has, I love the Celticized designs. They're very kind of abstract and unique. Moving back to the Romans, here is another Antoninianus with a little silvering. This is of Emperor Probus. Some great detail here. He was Roman emperor from 276 to 282 AD. He was a general under Aurelian and Tacitus, his predecessors. He spent most of his time fighting against Germanic tribes, as well as internal usurpers. He restored stability in the empire. And the reverse of this coin is super cool. I love this. This is Sol, god of the sun, driving a quadriga, a 4-horse chariot. And then you can see that silvering there as well. These Antoniniani are from the later 3rd century. They're pretty affordable, but they have some really cool designs. Here is another one. This is of Emperor Maximian, who ruled from 286 to 305 AD as part of the Tetrarchy with Diocletian. Diocletian, however you'd like to pronounce it. He also spent a lot of time fighting Germanic tribes and suppressing rebellions. He abdicated the throne along with Diocletian, but then tried to seize it again and was forced to commit suicide by Constantine. The reverse side here features a really cool design. This is Hercules strangling the Nemean lion, one of his legendary trials. And the lion, Hercules actually took the skin of and wore it after that. And you can actually see that on the Alexander the Great drachma from earlier in this video. You can see the lion's mane around his head on the obverse of the coin. So a little callback there. And then finally, we have another denarius of Augustus. This features a distinctive portrait style that's unique to the Spanish colonies where it was produced, as opposed to Rome, where most Roman imperial coins were produced. And the reverse side features the legend Ob Civis Servatos, which roughly translates to "for saving the citizens." And Augustus is claiming that he saved the citizens of the Roman Republic from civil war and from tyranny. And of course, he converted the Republic into a little bit of an empire. But yeah, those are some of the most interesting coins I'd say I purchased in March. Many of them I've sold already. I think there are a couple that are still available on eBay. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Feel free to comment or reach out if you have questions about any of the coins, about ancient coin collecting in general. I'm always happy to talk coins. Like I said, hopefully I will be publishing videos on a more consistent basis going forward. The goal is to do one of these videos every month showing cool coins I purchased in the previous month and explaining a little bit of the history on them. So yeah, thanks for watching and happy collecting.